Picture this. Deep in the ancient heart of Jerusalem, there sits a single weathered stone. Not a diamond, not a pile of gold. Just a hunk of limestone, roughened by millennia of wind and prayer and war. Yet more than 3 billion people revere it. For Jews, it's the navel of the world. For Muslims, the threshold to heaven. For Christians, ground zero for prophecy fulfilled. It's the foundation stone, called even Shetia in Hebrew, al-Sakra in Arabic, the rock that started 3 of the world's great religions, and the rock that, even now, could end them all. Imagine the city at sunrise. The golden dome glinting in the pale light, minarets and church towers piercing the skyline, streets buzzing with life, markets opening, prayers echoing atop the morning breeze. To the casual eye, Jerusalem is beautiful, peaceful even. But look closer. Beneath the surface, tension simmers. Armed police patrol every alley. Security cameras track every movement. Barriers and checkpoints snake between neighborhoods. Because beneath this city's stones, especially that one stone, lies a powder keg. And it only takes a single spark to ignite a firestorm that could sweep the world. So how did this one rock become the most dangerous real estate on the planet? How did it become the axis mundi, the cosmic center of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam? And why today does it threaten to pull us all into another catastrophic conflict? Let's take a deep breath and dive into the wild, bloody, and miraculous history of the foundation stone. First, consider the Jewish tradition. For Jews, the foundation stone is the spot where God began creation, where heaven and earth were first joined. The Talmud calls it the world's belly button, the axis around which existence spun. On this stone, Solomon built the Holy of Holies, the inner sanctum of the first temple. Here, the Ark of the Covenant rested. Here, it was believed, Abraham nearly sacrificed his son Isaac, a test of faith so profound it became the seed for 3 faiths. For centuries, Jews journeyed from distant lands to catch a glimpse of this rock, to pray at its shadow, to mourn its loss, and to dream of its restoration. But Jews weren't the only ones transformed by this limestone relic. In the 7th century, a new faith swept across the Middle East, Islam. According to Muslim tradition, the Prophet Muhammad was carried in the night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem. From the foundation stone itself, he ascended through the 7 heavens. There he met earlier prophets, received divine wisdom, and spoke with Allah. For Muslims, this is al-Sakra, the noble rock, beneath the dazzling dome of the rock. It is the 3rd holiest site in Islam, after Mecca and Medina. And for centuries, the faithful have made pilgrimage here, believing that prayers uttered at this place echo directly to the heavens. For Christians, the story is equally tangled. While the foundation stone isn't the center of Christian worship, it's inextricably tied to the life of Jesus. This is where he overturned the money changers' tables, where he prophesied the temple's destruction, and where, according to tradition, his sacrifice and resurrection fulfilled the ancient covenant. When the Romans razed the temple in 70 CE, they left the stone exposed, but its memory endured. Just hundreds of meters away, Christians built the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, tying their own salvation story to Jerusalem's sacred geography. But if you think competing reverence might breed peace, history tells a very different story. In 1099, Crusader armies stormed Jerusalem. They slaughtered its Muslim and Jewish inhabitants and seized the foundation stone. The dazzling golden dome was stripped of its Islamic identity and transformed into a church, Templum Domini. For nearly 90 years, Christian knights prayed atop what Muslims considered their 3rd holiest site. Then, in 1187, Saladin reclaimed Jerusalem. His first act? Purifying the stone with rosewater, erasing every trace of Christian conquest. This cycle, conquest, purification, reclamation, would repeat again and again, each time deepening the wounds and raising the stakes. Fast forward to the 20th century. In 1967, Israeli paratroopers captured the Old City during the Six-Day War. For the first time in 2,000 years, Jews had control over the Temple Mount. But rather than claim it outright, Israeli leaders made a fateful decision. They handed day-to-day administration of the site back to the Islamic Waqf, a Jordanian religious trust. The result was an uneasy status quo. Jews could visit, but not pray. Muslims could pray, but not expand. Christians could visit, but not hold services. The arrangement was fragile, but it kept the peace. Barely. That peace is now under threat. Jewish groups, inspired by prophecy and messianic expectation, prepare for the rebuilding of the Third Temple. They've crafted golden menorahs, priestly garments, and even bred red heifers for ancient rituals. Their dream? To restore sacrificial worship atop the foundation stone. But doing so would mean removing the dome of the rock, an act that would provoke fury across the Islamic world, from Morocco to Indonesia. And as the temple movement gains political influence, the likelihood of confrontation grows. Muslim groups, too, have their red lines. In 2000, a single visit by an Israeli politician to the Temple Mount sparked the Second Intifada, a 5-year uprising that left thousands dead. For many Muslims, defending Al-Aqsa isn't just about land or nationalism. It's about defending the very heart of Islam. Extremists like Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS have all invoked Al-Aqsa to justify violence, recruiting followers with the promise of liberating the noble sanctuary. Even moderate Muslims see any threat to the dome as a call to action, a red line that, once crossed, could ignite a global jihad. And it's not just religious zealotry fueling the flames. Underneath the mount, Israeli archaeologists are digging tunnels and conducting excavations. Officially, these are scientific projects. But to Palestinians, they're a prelude to undermining the Islamic structures above, literally and figuratively. The slightest miscalculation, the smallest earthquake, could crack the foundations and trigger chaos. In a region where rumors spread like wildfire, even an accidental collapse could be mistaken for an act of war. Layered atop all this are the apocalyptic dreams of messianic cults, Jewish, Muslim, and Christian. Some believe that destroying the other's holy site will trigger the end times, the coming of the Messiah, or the return of Jesus. Some are actively trying to make it happen, training priests, breeding sacrificial animals, and funding extremist movements. And as political leaders pander to these groups for votes, the risk of a catastrophic misstep only grows. The stakes? Nothing less than global war. Intelligence agencies warn that a single incident on the Temple Mount could spark riots across the Middle East, rocket attacks from Gaza and Lebanon, Iranian intervention, and terror attacks in Western capitals. Oil prices would skyrocket, markets would crash, nuclear powers could be drawn in, all over a stone that sits silent and ancient at the heart of Jerusalem. But it doesn't have to end this way. Across religious lines, there are people, Jews, Muslims, Christians, working for peace. They build bridges, hold dialogues, and risk their lives to protect the sacredness of the Mount for all people. Their work is quiet, often overlooked, but vitally important. So what can you do? First, share this story. Awareness is the first step to defusing the most dangerous time bomb in human history. Support organizations that promote peace and dialogue. Call out extremism wherever you see it, on every side. Because the foundation stone, for all its history of blood and strife, is also a symbol of hope. It's proof that humanity can find the sacred in a single place, even when divided by belief. What happens next isn't up to politicians or armies or ancient prophecies. It's up to all of us. Every time we choose understanding over hatred, dialogue over violence, we honor the spirit of the rock. We keep the powder keg from exploding, and we give hope, not just to Jerusalem, but to the world. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and stay human.